This is my 1996 JZX100 Toyota Chaser. So you might ask me, why a Chaser and why did I sell my Skyline? So there are actually two main reasons for that. First of all, money, because owning a Skyline, if it breaks, is, well, a pretty much safe way to go bankrupt as a private person. And the second thing is, the Skyline was not quite road legal. I mean, it was registered and stuff, but you know, the thing with a single turbo car and making over 500 horsepower in a state of Austria without getting into trouble is quite impossible, I would say. God damn the sun. So yeah, that were the main two reasons, and actually there is a third reason. The Skyline was financed through a bank, through a loan. And after owning the car for 4 years, which of 3 were standing time because the Skyline had to be repaired, it was time to make a decision whether or not I would want to drive a car that's super illegal on the road, to make all the papers and make it roadworthy. It would cost me around 8,000 euros. So yeah, after the build price went up, because we obviously built the engine, made good power, the car was great, but I really wanted a car that was street legal without paying a stupid amount for any TÜV documents and stuff. That was the way to go. So I already had a Chaser before, my white one, which I bought from Italy, and I fell in love with the chassis because Chasers are known to be tanks. They are being drifted all over the world. It all started in Japan, and I fell in love with the chassis after Adam LZ got his one, and I saw him beating the shit out of it, and it's not dying. The engine is great. It's a JZ. Well, it's not a 2JZ, but it's a smaller brother of it. So we've got here an 2.5 liter inline 6 turbocharged with a single turbo, which is always, as for me, it's a better choice. We are making stock power at around 280 to 300 horsepower. The cars are great, to be honest. The chassis is good, the parts are available, as the platform is in many areas similar to the IS200. So yeah, these are the reasons why I chose a Chaser, and I love drifting. I've been drifting for a couple of years on the sim. I mean, I know that's not relatable, or only somehow relatable to real life, but I wanted, like, the start of my project, of the idea to own a Chaser, was to build a car for the track, to be able to be using as a street car and also go to the track sometimes. And holy shit, where are we driving? But after taking the car to an actual drift event, which was awesome, I came to the conclusion that a 30k plus car might not be the best way to start drifting when you're not rich. So that's for another day. I mean, we're gonna build a drift car at some point, I think, on the channel, so we will see about that. So that chapter is kinda done. filmed anything of the car because I was honestly just enjoying the season and I had a blast. We've been to Croatia with it, we've been to Poland to Ultrace. I did like 9,000 kilometers with some minor issues, I would say. So on the way to Ultrace, my pilot bearing gave up, which was a bit annoying, so it's I was kinda bummed being in Poland, but I mean the experience still was very nice. And so I took the gearbox out, replaced the pilot bearing, and we did also all the bushings in the front and in the rear. That was necessary because all the ball joints, all the bushings were blown, like super blown. So yeah, besides that there were no major issues. I've been also daily driving it. I mean, these cars are, for a Japanese shitbox, these cars are great dailies. Fuel consumption is not so great. I mean, it's like, I don't know, 10 to 12 liters probably, if you don't hammer on it all the time. But otherwise, you've got enough room for everything. And one of the things I like about the JZX100 platform is if you compare it to an S chassis or an R chassis, it feels like a whole car, like you're actually sitting in a car and not in a death trap, which makes sense, I guess, if you have driven those cars before. I also installed a TRD cluster, as you might see, which was always a dream of me when I bought the car and I knew that there has to be a TRD cluster in it. And a good reason for me to buy that was the car was an auto. The car was an automatic and they swapped it back in Japan. So I got the car as a manual, but there was still the automatic cluster in it. So I wanted to change it anyway, and then I bought the TRD cluster from Japan, from the auctions. Paid like 500 euros for it, or 550 I guess. I mean, it's super expensive, but it looks cool. So, kind of worth it, I don't know. So, just to tell you a little bit about me. So, I came, I've not always been into cars. It's not like I've been loving cars since from a very young age. The reason I started to think about cars, to like cars, was honestly the sim drifting. So with that, I started to realize that cars are cool. I started sim drifting with, I don't know, 15 or so. Until then, there was not really a plan to buy and modify something, not even like these mopeds as we have them in Austria. In Germany, I guess that's a thing here. So many people from the young age will start to modify their scooters or mopeds. Well, these aren't scooters, but like, how do you describe them? They're 50cc motorcycles, which can go legally up to 45 kilometers per hour. So many young people start to modify them. They go faster, and there are also different exhausts and whatnot. It's basically like riding motocross, but with no power essentially. So people are building engines and stuff, and this very often translates into cars, into building cars, into like having the hobby being